Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR HALACHA. Here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Friday, 24th day of November. Sorry, second day of November, and 24th day of CHESHVAN. That's what I meant to say. This Matzah Shabbos, this Saturday night at 2 a.m., a lot of us are going to be changing the clock 1 hour backwards. Now, for those of you in Israel, that already happened for you guys um, last week. But for us in mostly the United States, we're moving the clock backwards Saturday night at 2 a.m. And for those of you listening in far-flung places like Australia and Africa and India, I actually don't know how it works there, but for those of us here in the United States, those of you probably most of my listeners, you guys are changing the clock backwards, and that's going to have halachic ramifications. I'll tell you what I mean. So until this clock change, um, stuff like, let's say, sunrise was about 7:30 in the morning. So you were in danger of davening too early sometimes if you davened at like 6 in the morning. Because you're supposed to daven earliest Shemona Esrei is best davened at the time of sunrise, and if you have to, you could daven before sunrise with a minyan, but to be davening in the morning before the crack of dawn is like certainly out of range. So now that we move the clock backwards, I hope I didn't confuse you. What I'm trying to say is that you can daven your shacharis earlier in the morning. For those of you who have to get on a bus to school or whatever early in the morning, your availability of davening shacharis has just now moved earlier in the morning, and that's sort of good news for you early risers. For you late risers, there's actually bad news because that means that those of you guys who like to sleep in and daven at like 10:30 in the morning. So now, according to, depending on your city, sometimes sleeping in all the way till 10, 11 o'clock in the morning is going to be too late to say Shema, certainly, and it might even be too late to say Shemona Esrei. So watch out for that because that's the last time to say Shema and the last time to say Shemona Esrei in the morning has now jumped 1 hour earlier. I'm in Baltimore, so for example, here it's jumped to, I think, latest time for Shema is somewhere around 9:20-ish in the morning. That's really early. So those of you who like to sleep in on Shabbos morning, wow, you got to get Shema said before like about 9:20 or even a minute or two earlier than that in the morning. So again, Shachris has moved earlier, sunrise has moved earlier, dawn has moved earlier, so you can daven earlier. But your ending time for when you could say Shema has also jumped earlier, and please watch for that. For those of you who like to daven mincha early in the afternoon, that has also jumped way earlier. So now you can daven mincha just by way of reference in the Baltimore area. You can daven mincha almost as early as 12:20 in the afternoon, and that's going to vary from city to city, but it has jumped an hour earlier. Some sort of bad news is for those of you who have a busy afternoon, your last chance to say mincha has crept way earlier, and by the time we get into the dead of winter, that's sometimes going to be by 4:30 in the afternoon, or maybe even a drop earlier. You're going to have mincha done, so watch out for that. Sort of the good news side of thing is Marav. Wow, because you can be saying Marav as soon as the sun goes down, which in some areas is going to be as early as like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So from 5 o'clock in the afternoon all the way into the nighttime, late nighttime, you could be saying Marav. So hope I haven't been confusing here, but the gist of it is that when we change the clock, it has strong ramifications to our halachic situations also. So please watch for that, and don't forget to switch your clock back, fall back, I think, and spring ahead. So in the fall, you actually gain an hour of sleep on Saturday night. Enjoy and use it for good things. Bye-bye.